There's never a dull moment in the world of hip-hop, and this week proved that once again. From behind-the-scenes secrets and street drama to legal threats and celebrity meltdowns, everything played out like a wild reality show. And if I think you've heard it all, just wait, because this is the kind of chaos that grabs you and doesn't let go. Em Smurf has always been one of those figures in hip-hop who has a reputation for telling it exactly how it is. And his recent interview with Rapmatic was no different. Smurf, known for his early ties to G-Unit, dropped some heavy info that fans have never heard before. He confirmed that there really was paperwork involving 50 Cent and Irv Gotti. But before jumping to conclusions, he cleared the air. It wasn't 50 snitching. The paperwork came from a situation involving an engineer in the studio. What happened was that Irv Gotti and his crew ran into a 50 Cent studio session, and things got physical. People got poked up. But the paperwork only mentioned 50 Cent because it was his session. He wasn't the one reporting anything, and Smurf made that clear. Smurf deserves credit for keeping it real. Back in the early 2000s, when muscle really mattered in the rap game, Smurf was that muscle. He wasn't the only one, but he played a serious role in making sure nobody messed with 50 Cent during his come-up. At a time when beefs could go from words to violence in minutes, having someone like Smurf around made sure 50 could move without constantly looking over his shoulder. That kind of protection helped 50 get to a place where he could land deals with Eminem and Dr. Dre and truly take off. Of course, his rise wasn't just about the muscle. It was also about timing, talent, and the people behind him. 50 had powerful allies, including a lawyer connected to Eminem. Everything lined up perfectly, the deals, the buzz, and the fearlessness. But not everyone made the full journey with him. Smurf, despite all he did in the beginning, was eventually cut off. There's always been talk about why, but even now, the exact reason is blurry. Smurf said he might have been seen as a liability, but then again, wasn't everyone? Tony Yayo had his issues. Young Buck had his own problems. Still, something about Smurf pushed 50 to part ways. What's refreshing is that Smurf doesn't hold grudges about it. He always says 50 didn't tell on anyone, and acknowledges that 50 needed people like him in the beginning. You can't take on the whole rap game by yourself, especially when you're new, hungry, and coming out of Queens with enemies on all sides. Smurf even spilled a random detail that 50 Cent used to date Mr. Cheeks' sister. That's the kind of info that fans eat up, especially when there were subliminal shots going back and forth between 50 and Mr. Cheeks back in the day. While that interview gave fans a dose of realness from the past, something completely different unfolded in the present. Diddy G, a YouTube rapper turned recording artist, ended up in hot water during an event called DreamCon. It was supposed to be a place where fans and creators could vibe peacefully, but one fan thought it would be funny to troll Diddy G by calling him doo-doo garbage. That little joke didn't go over well. The moment the words came out, things got ugly. Diddy G's brother stepped in and reportedly hit the guy under his left eye. Then another one of Diddy G's people jumped in. The fan, who now claims to be the victim, said he was just standing with a friend in the vendor hall when he spotted Diddy G. Thinking it would be a quick laugh, he called out the insult, and suddenly, punches were flying. He tried to back away, but it was too late. Now, he's talking about taking legal action, claiming he wasn't following Diddy G or provoking anything beyond a joke. But come on, when you troll someone in person and it goes sideways, you can't always play innocent. It might have been dumb, but it wasn't exactly harmless. Diddy G's response to the situation hasn't been direct, but the whole thing caused a stir online. People argued both sides. Some said the fan got what he asked for. Others said Diddy G's. Crew overreacted, but now the threat of a lawsuit is hanging over Diddy G's head. What was supposed to be a fun event turned into a PR nightmare over a troll trying to go viral. And as if things weren't crazy enough, 50 Cent jumped back into the headlines again, this time with his trademark sarcasm. When the idea came up that Diddy might get a pardon from Donald Trump for some of his past legal issues, 50 took a jab online. He joked that he wouldn't let it happen, saying he would make sure Trump knew that Diddy was a Trump hater. The post sounded like a joke, but with 50, you never know. His words tend to carry weight, especially when politics and hip-hop collide. Whether he was being funny or deadly serious, fans knew it was classic 50. Petty, sharp, and perfectly timed. Across the Caribbean, another storm was brewing. Vybz Kartel, the legendary dancehall artist, had to call off a major show in Trinidad. This wasn't just a scheduling conflict. This was years of mismanagement piling up. Kartel didn't hold back. In a voice note, he laid into the promoter for missing deadlines, clashing with local traditions like Carnival, and just being generally sloppy. The biggest issue was trying to schedule the show during Carnival season, something Kartel and his team warned against from the beginning. But the promoter wouldn't listen. After delay, Kartel finally had enough. The worst part? It's the Trinidad fans who end up losing. They've been waiting years to see Kartel live. And now the chance is gone because someone didn't know how to handle business. Kartel's message was clear. Don't blame him. Blame the person who forced a bad plan to go forward even when everyone said it wouldn't work. It was a tough call, but one that had to be made. Not everyone's built to be a promoter, and this situation proved that. While real drama unfolded across music and events, the news took a dark turn with a story that shocked even the most hardened. Crime followers! A man was given 3 life sentences after being found guilty of murdering his pregnant girlfriend and a store clerk. The disturbing part? He reportedly lived with his girlfriend's body for 2 months before being arrested. It's the kind of horror story that feels more like a movie than real life. People who heard the details were disgusted, and honestly, 3 life sentences almost doesn't feel like enough. There are crimes, and then there are nightmares, and this was the second kind. But just when you think the week can't get any stranger, in comes Tommy from Love and Hip Hop to remind everyone. That chaos comes in all forms. She somehow found herself crashing a peaceful girls' dinner and turned it into an awkward mess. The women were just hanging out, enjoying a quiet night, and here comes Tommy, loud, unpredictable, and clearly not in the right state of mind. She started ranting about being in a shootout, talking about her estrogen levels, and throwing out random comments that made absolutely no sense. The girls at the dinner were confused and probably a little scared. They didn't know who she was or why she was acting that way, and Tommy just kept going, rambling on like she was in the middle of a therapy session gone wrong. This wasn't just a drunken outburst. It was someone spiraling right in front.